Hey guys, Fire here, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Pirate Bloopers. This is the latest shoot 'em up, or should I call it ship 'em up game to hit the Xbox. It's a fairly simplistic and easy to play game, but also one that's actually pretty fun. So the premise of this game is you're going to be going around picking up these various coins, but additionally you're going to be trying to destroy other ships and grab treasure chests as you can while you're trying to build up enough kind of coins for you to be able to continually upgrade your ship. Now, treasure chests give you coins, and then these little yellow ships will try to take your coins. And then as you play through the game, you're going to slowly get introduced to just more and more different ships in the game, and every one of those are ultimately just trying to destroy you. So you get to use kind of your A button here to get near these ships and shoot arrows that fire kind of speed and distance based on how long you hold down your A button. And now, while you're also navigating with your ship that honestly has some pretty wonky controls, but nothing that's like too overly difficult to kind of get the hang of. Now, after each one of these short waves that the game experiences, the game's going to introduce you with an option to upgrade your ship. And then how you upgrade your ship will determine kind of different attributes that you have. And those different attributes could be things like a health bump. You could do an extra life if you can get up enough coins. Or you could even add more damage or power for the ship that you have. All while trying to avoid other ships that are trying to destroy you in the game. Now, the game usually ramps up with different kind of ships that you're going to encounter every, I'd say, 3 or 4-ish levels, and the ships are going to vary from just like basic ships that shoot back at you down to ships that can steal your health and take your life away. And as I said, every time you finish one of these levels, like I said, you're going to get introduced to one of these little screens here. Now, these screens give you option to upgrade your damage, fire rate, all that other stuff, and I'm ultimately going to recommend you try to get your fire rate and your damage up as quick as you can. I didn't really do much health upgrading or speed, because really, if you can just get damage down pat, the game becomes pretty easy, where you'll get to the point where some ships are easy to even one-shot and don't require too much energy to take out. As you can see, this ship, we got our faster fire rate, but we didn't really get more damage. Now, you might be wondering what some of the other things you can encounter in the game early on are. You have things such as this submarine here. That's entire goal of the game is to just steal all your treasure chests. Now, when you first start out, you're going to be pretty weak and not have a lot of strength to stop him. But as you get further into the game, you'll get to where you just have a lot more power, and you can destroy that little submarine and stop him from taking all your treasure. But for the premise of the game, you're just going to be fairly weak as you start out, and like I said, you're going to get some pretty cool upgrades. Now, the game does a really good job, I think, at introducing a lot of different mechanics in the game when it comes to the different ship styles that you encounter. Now, the game only asks you to complete out the 10 levels for this kind of initial like achievement run set up for the game, but focus on kind of just getting better at the game, as the developers tend to add more achievements throughout the game, so I can only expect the game to ask you to get through harder and harder levels as more and more updates come out. Now, a lot of the parts about this game that I really enjoyed honestly outshadows some of the things that I didn't enjoy as much. Now, I think the minimap, as you get into later stages, gets very overcrowded with things, as well as, you know, it can be a little challenging at times to kind of figuring out what you're doing if you haven't played this game before. You know, I went through and did a lot of the game, but there were plenty of times where I just had no clue at all what I was doing when I first started out. So maybe in between levels, as new like ships and stuff get introduced, it would be nice to see the game give you an almost like little informational about, hey, this is the new ships and new things that you're going to experience and what you need to look out for while you play the game. It doesn't really outshadow things too much, but for somebody who might be a fairly new gamer to this game or not super familiar with how shmups work, just a little bit more of a, like, maybe in-game, like, hey, this is how you do things, this is what we want you to do, and focus on this and that to complete out your objectives would honestly give a much better, I think, experience to anybody new to these kind of games. Granted, like I said, it's not superly over difficult, but if your target audience is like a younger kid to maybe check out and play this game, I think your target audience might have a little bit of difficulty figuring out exactly how to play the game. But I think long-term gamers aren't going to have too much struggle figuring out how to get through the game and mess with the various controls of how to play throughout the game. With that being said, you know, the game does feature this little, like, controls menu, but it doesn't give you anything really beyond, like, what different ships do. It just gives you some basic highlights of different things, but, you know, being able to at least get some information about, like, the different ships you get introduced to is something that I think would be very beneficial and very helpful for the game. Outside of that, I think Pirate Bloopers is a decent little casual shmup game. You know, I don't know if I'd play it extensively, but with hopefully future updates, it encourages me to go further and further in the game. I would like to see the achievements require you to go well beyond Wave 10. You know, it's a little bit of a letdown when, you know, you can knock all of them out in about 20 to 30 minutes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Pirate Bloopers, and hope you just check it out in the Xbox Store once it's available in just about a week. Outside of that, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. And if you haven't already, just check out one of the 2 videos on your screen now. Until then, I'll catch you next time.